We Are Wrestling.
We Are Wrestling.
Don, D-O-N?
Dick, got it.
Make sure to subscribe, baby.
We are wrestling.
What is up? We are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide. I'm the host with the most, the best one, Donnie, here with...
What is going on, everybody? Danny Huckins here, man. 1/3 of We Are Wrestling, and we got the band back together. Ben is joining us once again. How are you going, man?
What's going on, guys? We are Wrestling Maniacs Worldwide. Ben back here again on another episode of the talk show. But we got an exciting show for you guys tonight. But before we get into all of that, Don, take it away.
That is right. This is no extra. The We Are Wrestling talk show. We are back, baby. New episodes are going to be coming out every Saturday moving forward due to all of our schedules just working better on Friday night. But before, we get into our topics for this week's episode of the We Are Wrestling talk show, if you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac yet already, and you're not a part of the thousands of subscribers, the best way to support us is by hitting that subscribe button now, turning on the post notifications. Videos be coming out of nowhere like an RKO, and of course, you already know, the grind is real. Feels good to be back on the regular talk show.
Let's go.
Absolutely.
It's been a while, man.
That's right, and we're going to definitely be consistent moving forward because
Hell yeah.
we have been in the 30s, I feel like, for such a long time. This is
it's time to
episode
move.
33 or 32.
The show needs to fucking move on, my dude. We gotta go.
Well, luckily, we found a time and a place and a date that we could all be together, and I think this is going to be the time moving forward, man. So it's going to be good.
Oh, yeah.
That's
It works
right.
out, man, and it's been great, and it's a better way to make it a lot more organic, and now we have a consistent schedule, where we want to go, so.
Yep,
That's
absolutely.
right, and the best thing about the new We Are Wrestling talk show, there's going to be some weeks where we do wrestling news. There's going to be other weeks where we talk about nostalgia stuff. We're going to switch it up with you guys, so whatever you guys enjoy, that's what we're going to do. But let's get into our first topic for this week's episode of the talk show.
Yeah.
So, there has been reports about Stone Cold Steve Austin wanting to do more matches.
If you want more matches from Stone Cold, give me a hell yeah! What? Give me a hell yeah!
What?
I said give me a hell yeah!
Open up
Yeah,
a can of
man,
whoop
so,
ass.
Yeah, man, Steve Austin, man. So it came out recently that Steve Austin has been not necessarily pressuring anybody, but hey, he has made it vocally known that he wants to have more matches or whatever.
He has gotten
like
the
WrestleMania
itch.
or whatever. He's gotten the itch, especially you guys all saw the performance that he did last year at WrestleMania against Kevin Owens. Phenomenal. The guy, I mean, he went 15 minutes with Kevin Owens, get slammed on, the concrete and everything. I mean, the dude
Fucking
can still go.
ridiculous.
The
Dude,
can still go.
and their spots were just so good, man. And again, it all comes down to the chemistry in the ring. And there was nobody that they could have chose better for Stone Cold's legitimate in-ring return. Fucking phenomenal, 5-star classic, nostalgia all around, beautiful build-up, beautiful story from Kevin. The delivery was there. The fucking the crowd was invested in it. They literally went into the fucking crowd.
Oh, yeah.
It was like watching Stone Cold like he hasn't missed a fucking beat. And I loved that in the beginning of the match, he was trolling the fuck out of the crowd by going slower and slower. Then he was just like,
That definitely got me.
just fucking
He
went.
definitely got me good with that.
Bro, I was marking the fuck out, dude, just right when he started just going in, dude. I lost my shit. Lost my fucking shit. Like, I can feel the electricity in my veins just thinking about it again. I'm going to go back and watch that match again. 100%.
That was
So,
definitely one of the highlights of WrestleMania last year.
So I do have a quick question to ask you guys.
What up,
Because
fam?
obviously you did mention, Ben, how, Stone Cold had great chemistry with Kevin Owens and they had a good match. So now, with Stone Cold coming back, doing more matches according to these reports,
Okay.
how do you see the matches happening, like the schedule-wise? Because, of course,
Okay.
we've had, in the past, Undertaker, at one point only did WrestleMania matches. We've
Yes.
had guys, do the Goldberg schedule where, you wrestle 3 or 4 matches a year. Saudi
Yes.
Arabia, we saw
All
Shawn
right.
Michaels with the bald head wrestle.
So
What do you see with Stone
I
Cold?
see with Stone Cold, because his window is very small. He's over the age of 50 now. He is at a more advanced age, and I don't want to say that he's old. Because
Neck
dude obviously
injuries,
can
knee
still
injuries,
fucking,
too.
but dude can still fucking go. Clearly,
He could beat the hell out of us.
However, I see him having
Hell
the
yeah.
John Cena schedule, where he does big matches every couple years, maybe every year, depending on how good he's feeling, how he's what his schedule is looking like. I can see every other year he does something big like Cena does, and nobody gets tired of it, and everybody welcomed John back after so long, and that never happens. He gets booed wherever the fuck he goes just because he was so in our fucking face like religion at one point. Now having Stone Cold in that same area of booking, I think it would work. Now it comes down to the chemistry in the ring again. Who would his opponents be? Who would start it? Would he start it? Would he make a surprise appearance and talk, and would he get interrupted by said feud? Who would you guys want to see Stone Cold face first coming back? Who do you want to see going down the ladder of this roster?
I just want to know, I just want to get Danny, before we answer the question.
Oh, sorry, man. I got so fucking
I want to
invested.
definitely hear Danny's opinion about, the
Sorry, man. My wheels were just going.
We'll get into that.
Now, I see Stone Cold only competing at WrestleManias. I don't see him getting on a plane for 17 hours and going to Saudi Arabia and doing
I see
those events
SummerSlam.
like that.
I see a SummerSlam.
I see WrestleManias. WrestleMania.
I see WrestleMania.
WrestleMania is the big show,
But I do, but I also see a SummerSlam. SummerSlam is doable.
I do see a SummerSlam appearance, not a match. I gotta go with Danny on this one. I think it's only going to be WrestleManias, because the WrestleManias lately, they've been trying to have bigger feels for them. They're bringing in more celebrities.
Oh, dude.
And I think Stone Cold will do WrestleMania matches every year.
Yeah, and 100. And I'm down for the WrestleMania matches only. Yeah. But I'm just saying, if there was another pay-per-view I could see a match on with Stone Cold, it would be a SummerSlam, because that feels like a highlight. Summer is everybody's fucking party season, and what says a rager like the man who fucking literally trademarked beer?
That is true. That is very accurate.
Well, if you saw if you saw WrestleMania 38, we didn't see Austin.
We saw fucking God perform in the ring at WrestleMania 38.
But here's the thing I'm hoping, though, with the Stone Cold, if he is going to do just WrestleMania matches, I want there to be a solid build the road to WrestleMania, because I feel like something that has been forgotten for the last years is the road to WrestleMania. Because at the Rumble, that is where you start your storylines and feuds, and I want to have those road to WrestleManias.
Okay, so maybe not Royal Rumble, but maybe the pay-per-view after I would start it, just because you don't want Stone Cold on TV too much. You really don't. You don't want to drag it out because people are going to be expecting it.
I'm not saying Stone Cold comes right after Rumble. I'm trying to say, just in general, the storylines, the road to WrestleMania.
So in just that time frame.
If you look at it, even though we didn't necessarily see Austin until he, made his entrance or whatever, for the KO show, and then they end up having that match. They told one hell of a story, bro. And Kevin, that was all Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens, he sold that story to everybody else when Austin wasn't around. You know what I mean? We saw one video message of Austin being like,
it was so
Kevin
good.
Owens, I'm gonna show up at WrestleMania.
Yeah, well, that was the only time we saw it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Kevin Owens sold that story.
I don't want them to keep doing that moving forward. With this
Kevin
next
was the
feud,
only one
at
that
least
could.
have him on TV a little bit more.
Exactly, and
Not
I'm with
saying
you.
Wrestle on TV. Save the match for Mania.
Like introduce the feud, as in just have him make a special appearance at a Raw somewhere, and then have the person that he's gonna face interrupt him. That's the easiest way to do it.
So you guys were talking about having him show up at the pay-per-view after the Royal Rumble. My only issue with that is the last pay-per-view that we get before Mania is Elimination Chamber. I don't see him fitting in anywhere.
That's not happening anymore. It's no way out.
Elimination Chamber
Elimination Chamber is happening in Montreal in February They've been announcing.
Oh, that's the
Okay,
fi-
well,
that's the final
one
one.
gimmick
That's the
pay-per-view
final
I'm
one.
okay with.
Yeah,
That
as
is
long
like
as
one-
this year.
yeah, I
I
just
mean,
don't
when-
want.
I've
Go ahead.
heard that King of the Ring's coming back. I haven't heard anything on No Way Out. I
Hey,
hope
if
No
they
Way
can
Out
make
does
that
come back.
prestigious again, I'd be all for that.
See, I
Yeah.
don't want King of the Ring being a pay per view in itself. I would rather do the fucking the tournaments through the weeks, and then at a certain pay per view do the fucking coronation.
I love old school
the
King
match.
of the Ring pay-per-views,
Yeah.
man. So much more
It
prestigious.
just made it a little bit more prestigious. You know what I mean? I mean, look at Kurt Angle
Now
and
the old
Shane
school King of the
McMahon.
Ring. So the old school King of the Ring was that the pay per view where every match was like people move forward after they fucking it's
Yeah,
like a process
it was
of
like
elimination.
elimination. It was
fuck yeah,
elimination
I'm down.
matches.
I'm
It was
down.
elimination matches.
Screw a regular Raw
Yeah, fuck
episode
yeah.
of King of the Ring, man.
fuck
we needed
that. Yeah,
to come
okay.
back at King of the Ring
I will
pay-per-views.
go out on a limb and say that I have not viewed an actual King of the Ring pay per view, unfortunately.
And honestly, they
However,
have
I
some
will
of the best
change that.
matches, too.
I will change
Yeah.
that.
Well, Vince McMahon took the King of the Ring pay-per-views out. I believe in 2002 was the last one. So
Because
that's
he's whack
probably-
as fuck.
That's probably why
Stupid.
you haven't seen it.
Why do you
Um,
think fucking we've been in shambles for
I
so
reckon-
long?
It's not like the best, but I recommend the King of the Ring from 2001 because there was
That's
a
a
lot of
good
good
one.
stuff. There was a lot of good
That's
stuff
my
on that.
favorite King
That's
of the Ring.
that's the King of the Ring
That's
where
juicy.
we saw Kurt Angle give Shane McMahon a concussion from trying to break the glass with him, doing the belly to belly suplexes.
Okay, so I'll
but
definitely be peeping that.
As far as Austin, I mean, I guess he could make some kind of an appearance at the Royal Rumble. Like, I don't know what he would do though, because whatever his appearance is going to be, it has to set up a storyline. Is
Oh,
he
of
gonna
course.
do like? Is he gonna do like a random run in? Is he gonna enter the Royal Rumble? Whatever.
So for
and
Stone
he's
Cold?
gonna,
You know
he's
why
gonna
they
For
feud
Stone
with
Cold?
somebody
against
that
at Mania?
eliminates him. What?
What's up?
I got a good one.
I can see him facing LA Knight.
I
3-minute
don't see
warning.
that. Here's
3-minute
who I
warning.
see. That they would have a pretty good storyline though in feud. I will give you credit for that.
Yep.
But there's two options. I could see a potential Rock versus Stone Cold for this Mania. Maybe they don't have The Rock go against Roman Reigns. They do a one more Rock versus Austin match.
Nah.
Who would want
Nah.
to see that though?
Not me.
I think friggin' everybody in their friggin'
I wouldn't want to because
Families.
it just that match was so emotionally investful and perfect, and it just had such a swan song ending. I couldn't rewrite it. That's a
And
match
you-
I
If
will
gotta-
not touch.
But here's who I would kind of want.
You have
Austin
hold on. You have to
against.
remember something. Stone Cold and The Rock haven't had a feud since the Attitude Era days.
Yeah.
It's a whole nother generation. Very few people that are not like adults or whatever know or remember what the Attitude Era was. You know what I mean? That time was very sacred, especially to a lot of people. And I feel like if we do that
God.
again in 2022, something could happen to where it just takes all the prestige away from it.
That
I
was-
wouldn't want to.
No, but here's
That was
how
probably
they
the
would
best
do
way
it.
to put it, though.
But
The
here's how
sacred
they
is
would do it.
definitely the right word.
If they happen to do an Austin versus Rock match,
Yeah.
there's going to be no build to it for Mania. It's going to be one of those, like, Rock makes an appearance at Mania in front of the crowd. He's going to have his gear underneath, like, what he's wearing.
What, they just beat
Stone
the hell
Cold
out of
comes
each
out,
other?
interrupts him, and it's going to be one of those, like, unsanctioned, like, matches, I think. That's, like, the only way I see it happening.
For Rock and Stone Cold, yeah. There'd
Just
have
like
to
a
be
nostalgia thing.
there would have to be some kind of actual heat going on though for that to happen.
Yeah.
Like it couldn't be random. Like that's something that you do not randomly see. Like people would be like, "Yeah, we're here for it," but we would have liked some depth to it, Some
That
a
and,
little bit
like,
more
no-
sauce.
That and like, no offense to Austin, but The Rock's in a lot better shape, and a
hell,
lot.
Clearly. Clearly.
I mean, you see, like
his fucking
Rock-
bald ass head has muscles on him.
The Rock. I feel like
Fuck.
if The Rock ever wanted to have like another full time run, like 1
He
year
could.
full time, I mean, if there's anybody from
could.
Attitude that I feel like he would be able to do, it'd be him. And I just
He's
I-
the only.
I want Stone Cold. When he fought Kevin Owens.
Do you want to know why with The Rock it would be the only one? Not only just because he's in physically the best shape he's ever been in, but he stepped away very early on. He didn't get as many injuries, or if any, as many as fucking a lot of these other stars that have
The Rock,
really
I don't
stuck
think
there
The Rock
for
ever
years.
was away for any kind of injury.
That's
or
what I'm
not.
saying. So I'm like, that's why he has gas in the tank, because he preserved his body. Like he
If there
preserved
was
it, so
anybody
he
I
can
would have
still
seen,
go.
if there was anybody I could have seen like Rock like go back and have some kind of a match with, it would have been Triple H, which they were setting up before Triple H's health issues.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
It
They
is
were
very.
teasing it a
The
lot.
what ifs are fucking ridiculous. Just like my biggest what if is, dude, like if
What about Steve Austin versus Karrion Kross? That'd be kind of interesting.
I don't
that
see
would be
I mean,
interesting.
You got to get somebody
be
that
interesting.
can work the same kind of style as Austin. You know what I mean?
I know
you
who
can't
works
get
the same style as Austin. I got the perfect opponent, and I might
Who?
get a lot of heat for this, so
Oh,
I'll
shit.
take the heat.
Oh shit, let's go.
who. I might
Hey,
agree.
same.
Someone that I think could work with Stone Cold with the shape that he's
Are they
in.
on the main roster?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
And I think, Ben, you are going to be okay with this. Danny is not going to want to.
Oh, shit.
Depends on who it is. I
have a
might be
feeling
like,
I
fuck
know
yeah.
where you're going with this. Who is it?
If there's anybody that can work with Austin, and he's shown that he can work with people,
He can work with anybody, and I have a
With
feeling I know
anybody.
who it is.
he just, has too
Who
many
is it?
gimmicks. Baron Corbin.
I could actually see that.
Okay, that wasn't where I was expecting.
You got
okay.
JBL by his side. He's trying to portray him as the new wrestling god. So you could definitely do something there with Stone Cold and Corbin.
You see, I actually like out of everybody on the main roster right now, I feel like the one guy that'd be able to give Baron Corbin a good match would be Austin. Baron
Hey,
Corbin
all
is
right,
not that
so
good of
I'm
a
gonna go
worker.
out on a limb, and I'm gonna. All right, so if we're going on who we're gonna fucking fantasy booking, one of my
Fantasy
my
booking.
favorite segment on the show. Speaking of a man of many gimmicks and a man of many talents, I think a person that would make a beautiful feud with Stone Cold Steve Austin would be Seth freaking Rollins. I think that would be a beautiful match between the Architect and the Rattlesnake. That would be fucking ridiculous, dude. And the build up in that feud would be spectacular.
I could see that because
Spectacular.
knowing how Austin is and knowing the way they've treated him, especially, I mean, like I said, they didn't even have him show up when he was having that whole thing with Kevin Owens last year.
Sorry, I
you
just wrecked my pants.
You gotta get somebody that has the same kind of mic skills as Steve Austin or whatever.
Can you
that way, if
imagine the
Steve Austin
fucking
doesn't show
clapbacks?
up, you can have somebody else to carry along the story until Steve Austin shows up and whoops his ass.
That's
Yeah.
the thing, though, about the Seth Rollins. That's a really good opponent because Stone Cold has had neck issues.
He's one
That
of the
curb stomp.
safest people
The
to
curb
work with.
stomp, too.
Yep. And he's one of the safest fucking individuals to work with.
Didn't
And I'm
Seth
glad.
Rollins break
But hold on, before you keep
John
going,
Cena's nose?
he did,
He
but
did,
that was
and
an
he
accident.
also ended Sting's WWE career.
That was also a very bad accident, but that move should honestly be fucking taken away because that turnbuckle has not only taken lives, but it could fucking injure somebody in the wrong move, and that's what it did to Sting. However, I'm glad that you guys chose Baron Corbin because he is, again, one of the safest individuals to work with in a wrestling ring.
Yep.
So having him with Austin, he would be protected.
And it's a
1000%
win-win
of the time.
situation for him. He's going to be
My
more
only
over
thing is-
afterwards.
Yep.
He's not that good of a talker, and everything that JBL's been spewing, like I just don't buy into it. That'd be my only thing. I
See-
want
I love
somebody
what JBL's
that's
doing, telling all the
just-
fans about their chubby fingers.
yeah, I like when he's talking shit.
I love
It's just-
JBL.
especially like when he's referencing Baron Corbin, it's just not believable to me. You know what I mean? And if you're
It's
gonna
only because we
have-
haven't seen them like together on TV as much as we
You got to
need to
build the
yet.
chemistry.
You have to build there. You know, you still have. They need to really be on TV more together, and they need more segments and vignettes. You know, like they.
I
Need
mean,
Yes,
more
we
shit.
need more outside segments because that does a
Bingo.
lot for an individual.
I can't remember who it was, but fucking JBL was on Raw with Baron Corbin one night,
Absolutely.
and he was talking shit about people and somebody in it might have been Mustafa. It was one of the younger guys, one of the smaller guys or whatever.
Yep.
And Baron Corbin was fucking like this close to fucking losing and making JBL look like a fucking asshole. Baron Corbin got his fucking ass kicked by
I
a
love how
smaller
you're
guy.
just like. I love how you're just
That's
like.
why.
You almost made JBL look like a fucking asshole.
That's why it's not like, especially when JBL is
Speak
like
your truth,
referencing,
fam.
like talking to Baron Corbin like he's a wrestling god. It's not
Yeah.
believable to me, you know?
Not
But I
yet.
like what they're doing, though.
I see. Here's the thing.
So
I
far.
am on
It has
both of your
potential.
sides. I agree with both of you. You guys both have a very straight up point.
Well, regardless, whoever it's going to be, they're going to have to carry along the story until Steve Austin finally shows his face. You know,
Yep.
Steve Austin, he's at the age to where he's not going to want to be on TV every single week. So whoever he does have a feud with going into WrestleMania, it's not even confirmed that he's going to be at WrestleMania this year. Maybe it's not till WrestleMania 40, but regardless,
Again,
it's got to be with somebody that
fantasy
can carry.
booking.
Yeah, but it's got to be somebody that can carry the feud on the microphone,
Seth
and
Rollins,
sort of sell the match to people. Seth Rollins would be a good choice.
Randy Orton.
I mean,
So who do
Randy
you got,
Orton.
Danny?
Randy Orton's another one. Like, there's so many people that could really fucking have a great explosive match with Austin.
Well, the reason why I said LA Knight before was because on SmackDown tonight, LA Knight was wearing sort of like a Stone Cold vest. It was like a black sleeveless fucking, biker vest or whatever. And it just reminded me of Steve Austin. And LA Knight is a fucking talker and he's a worker. So that's why I said possibly LA Knight. Give him that spotlight.
Okay, hear me out. This is definitely a fantasy booking, but hear me out.
I'm ready.
Stone Cold versus CM Punk.
Hey,
That has actually
teased
been
back
talked
in
about.
2011.
That's what
That
I'm
has-
saying. That's what I'm saying. This is a very fantasy booking thing because we may never get it. But
Maybe WrestleMania 41.
I know-
fucking Stone Cold and Steve Austin. Sorry, I've been thinking about Sami Zayn a lot because he's just fucking everything that's great about WWE right now.
Even Jim Cornette loves him.
Exactly, and that's saying
They hate
something.
each
He
other.
fucking hates
Bro.
everybody.
What
He
if
fucking hates everybody, so
Bro.
that's great. What up?
Steve Austin versus Sami Zayn?
That would be a good one.
Yeah.
I'd
But
be
I
with it.
think,
I mean,
I think Sami Zayn
Sami
and Kevin
Zayn's
Owens
best
are gonna
friend-
win the tag
anybody.
titles
Sami Zayn's
probably
best friend got his
WrestleMania.
ass kicked last year. How do we know? Closer we get to Mania, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens former tag
Here's
team.
the thing, though.
And Sami Zayn wants to, kick Steve
Here's-
Austin's ass for the way he treated Kevin
Here's
Owens last
the
year.
thing, though. If they were to do that, I would want a different Sami Zayn. Like, I would want, like, a bulldog Sami Zayn. Like, somebody that's legitimately, like, an underdog. Like, I would want, even if he's a
Nope,
heel,
what's gonna
I would
happen,
want something serious. I wouldn't want this comedic Sami Zayn. Like, for Stone Cold Steve Austin, I would want a legitimate, like,
Ben.
professional.
Ben.
Like, I know he is, but, like, I want, like, a serious gimmick for Sammy.
Sami
for
Zayn,
Stone
Sami
Cold.
Zayn's not doing Stone Cold. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens will
If that's
win
where
tag
we're
team
to go.
championships at Mania.
They will.
I have
100.
I have a feeling that you guys aren't being oozy.
Oh, my God.
Well,
Listen.
I'm always feeling oozy, Danny.
Oh,
of
my
course.
God.
Oh, we fucking know.
Time to go back to the Samoan dictionary.
Hey,
so
man.
I do gotta say though, overall though, it's Stone Cold. Like, I'm excited. I really can't
Absolutely.
wait to see like what happens. I'm glad
I
that
am
he's
too.
open to doing more stuff. It's
He
always
got-
a win
he
to have
got-
Stone Cold on our
Bro,
television screen.
after working with fucking Vince McMahon, Austin Theory, and Pat McAfee, along with Kevin Owens, yeah, I would get slapped with the itch too, especially knowing that I could go and felt good after all of those hellacious bumps.
It almost seems like it was like an Edge sort of situation because Edge, he didn't know he could go until he was on Celtic Warrior Workout.
Until he was on his
Mountain Bike.
ass.
Yeah.
He didn't know until he
So,
took fucking ate shit.
Steve Austin probably took a bump one day and was like, my neck's not, busted
doesn't
up.
hurt.
I can, move. I can,
He's like,
Let me have another
My
beer."
neck doesn't hurt.
Give me a hell yeah. People may have, a
What?
different opinion on this, but I honestly feel
What?
like Steve Austin's career ended before he was ready to end. I feel like he
Yeah.
left
think he
because
stated
felt
that.
like he had to.
I think he
Did say
stated
that.
that before. I think he
I don't know if
stated
he
that.
has. If he has, I
I'm
haven't heard
pretty
it, but,
sure he said that.
Yeah.
You
Wasn't his last match WrestleMania 19 against The Rock?
It was. And that was, he had to live with it for fucking years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he rehashed it and he actually fucking, oh my God, it was so good. But what's the next, what's our next
Let us know who you guys would like to see Austin feud with.
Seriously, I would love to know all of you guys' opinions because this is not a light matter. This is big. This is very big.
Very big.
Fucking
news.
rattlesnake, bro.
So our next topic for this week's episode of the We Are Wrestling Talk Show, Logan Paul.
Oh my god, this dude's a fucking monster. There's nothing that this fucking kid can't do. This dude is a fucking monster, and it's nuts because he's literally the same age as me, just a little older.
And
Just a little older.
I'm sort of the one that wanted to bring this topic up because, obviously me and Ben were there for the watch along. Donnie was in Rhode Island for Comic-Con, so he didn't watch it until tonight. And I really just we haven't had that time to where we could actually talk about it. I feel like we're the only podcasters in the IWC that haven't fucking covered Logan Paul versus Roman Reigns. And I feel that's a travesty.
Honestly, real quick, I will take the blame for that because I was very late to watching Logan Paul versus Roman Reigns, and I apologize to all the We Are Wrestling Maniacs for that. So I will take 100% responsibility for that.
So if you guys give a fuck what we have to say about it, here you go.
Yeah, so Donnie,
you start
Logan
this because
Paul,
we saw this shit.
We saw this. Nobody's heard your opinion. I mean, you did post a reaction, so that's up on the channel. But what are your thoughts after watching it?
So my thoughts after watching it. I will never be watching a wrestling match highlight or freaking wrestling match reaction on YouTube ever again. Yeah, that is why usually with my reaction videos, I pretty much record. I use my rod mic that's on my camera, and I just get my genuine reaction. That's the easy way of doing it, and I get an actual genuine reaction. But with freaking YouTube, I try to look up the full match because I thought, with OBS, my Peacock would not, sync through because that happens with my YouTube TV. So I, watched it, and all the good shit got skipped. So I could not even enjoy it, and I refuse to have my reaction videos not be authentic and real. So my reaction was absolutely shitty. But from what I saw, what I heard, and what I saw from, the horrible the horrible video I reacted to, Logan Paul, I have said it since day one, the man can work.
Mm-hmm.
He is that good, and I think once his, Hollywood celebrity life, starts to slow down a little bit, if he gets one, a full run in WWE, full time, that man could definitely be a future WWE champion. If he puts all his focus into WWE, he could definitely be a world champion, 100%.
Absolutely. And I feel like me and Ben should rewatch that match eventually because, we were going on very little sleep.
Just don't
and it was
watch it on YouTube.
It was a miserable experience, man.
Yeah, I was, man. And I was fucking beat that day. But that match, just again, every match he's had 3 fucking matches, and they've all been blockbuster worthy, and they've gotten fucking even more exciting every single match. And with Roman Reigns, we knew he wasn't gonna win, but it just showed what he can do with top guys, and he took on and fucking exhausted the tribal chief. The biggest guy you can go against in WWE right now, and he brought this man to the mat multiple times and put him through a fucking table on Instagram Live.
He wrestled through the injury the entire match.
He did.
Too.
He fucking tore his ACL. He had multiple injuries and fucking still kept going. You didn't even see any kind of injury on him. The adrenaline got him through it. But man, that kid should have nothing but respect in that locker room. He should have nothing but respect from every WWE fan, even if they're not a fan of Logan. You cannot deny this kid's fucking talent, especially against top guys. And in that one match, just showed his promise for his entire future in the industry if he puts his all and his full-time potential into it.
Jim Cornette, man. I listened to his, review on the match, and he said,
mind you, he fucking hates everybody.
Yeah, it was either him or his podcast buddy that does a show with him.
Right, Brian Last. I can't fucking stand him.
It doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter how much he wants. You give that man whatever he wants, to sign him to a full-time deal. So
he just fucking flamed him.
He just flamed him, man.
He's like, fuck that guy. I can't fucking stand him. God damn, the nicest dude on the planet just fucking buried this man. Sorry, continue.
We haven't cemented our legacy. We haven't cemented our legacy in the IWC as podcasters yet, bro. We're still on the come up. You can't be burying people before we have a fucking chance to grow.
Hey, I have not said anything bad about Jim Cornette. And
Listen.
if Jim Cornette wants me on his podcast, he'll bring me there. He doesn't care what Ryan Glass says.
Listen, Danny. MJF admitted that he dabbles in We Are Wrestling. All right, nothing can touch Don. Continue.
I'm untouchable, motherfucker.
So yeah, the point of injury. A lot of people are getting misconstrued on when the injury took place. Now I don't have any verification about this, but it just makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Don, I don't know if you saw in the actual, the choppy video, whatever that you
the
made.
real.
Yeah, it was really bad too. It was really bad.
There was one
Hope
point
you
in the
enjoyed your
match.
fucking highlight reel.
There was one point in the match at the beginning of the match
you.
where Roman Reigns brings Logan Paul on the outside and he throws him over the barricade into the timekeeper's table, and you could see Logan Paul's shin like smack against the guardrail, like right on the fucking edge. I think that's where the injury happened.
Yeah,
Oh
that
my
part
God.
I didn't see that at all.
Did you see
from
this
my
man's
verbal
face?
reaction.
That said it all right there. He fucking hit the ground. He was just like, "Yup."
Now, mind you, keep this in mind. After that happened, he did the buckshot lariat better than Hangman Adam Page.
No.
Yes,
That is where I'm
according
gonna
to
stop you.
fucking CM Punk,
He did.
is a
He definitely
bitch,
did a lot better than
so-
CM Punk. But I will not say Logan Paul did better than Hangman.
Yes, he did. He got
No,
more
go
fucking
watch both
leverage on
clips
that.
at the same time and then tell me.
The
Because
thing
I
with
have
Hangman,
multiple times.
the thing with Hangman,
I am not gonna. I'm not gonna
Hangman
voice
hits,
who I'm
hits a
behind
harder
right now.
clothesline.
I am not gonna voice who I have right now and who I agree with. But continue.
come on, Ben, you got it.
Oh, it's gonna
man.
be Danny. I already know.
You're smart because I do.
But it's
I do.
because
Logan Paul is
with-
more athletic than Hangman. But the clothesline part of it,
And
Hangman
unfortunately
hits a
more
harder
talented.
clothesline than friggin' Logan Paul.
bro, you
JBL
could
fucking hits a harder fucking clothesline than both of them, so it don't matter.
Oh, obviously. Yeah.
That shit's
Bro,
straight from hell.
Clothesline
Imagine
too, yeah.
imagine JBL doing
John
the fucking.
Bradshaw Layfield.
Imagine JBL does the buckshot lariat.
JBL would bust his ass and shit himself if he did that.
But I like the match. The match was just.
I
See,
would
this is what
love to see him
happens.
do that.
I just want to fucking do his little dance thing that he does down the hallway.
Continue.
Bro, I would have loved to have Pat McAfee call that match, man. Holy shit.
I can't wait till he comes back.
I know, it's so fucking weird with him. I mean,
He's gonna
Shinsuke came
have a
out
hell
on,
of an entrance.
Shinsuke came out on SmackDown and we didn't get no yes, Cole, yes, you know what
We
Pat
didn't get
McAfee
no. We
fucking
didn't get
does.
no table dancing from
It's
Pat.
not the same.
No, it's
it doesn't
not,
hit.
man. It doesn't hit. But
Pat
anyway,
was
so-
like his Rick Boogs.
I will say this: the podcaster there, Georgie, he took a pretty good bump in that match.
George
though.
Janko
Yeah,
and fucking what's his face? The other one?
yeah.
The other one.
Mike's was not that good.
Yeah, Mike. You know that dude's
he
from
was
Connecticut.
Probably freaking half drunk during that too.
I don't know. I mean, they were partying inside of fucking Arabia. Why the
Oh,
fuck
yeah.
not? What did you guys think about Jake Paul? You know, the
That
His
punch
cells
was
were awful.
horrible.
His
I like
punches
Jake
were
Paul,
horrible.
but that punch was horrible.
that makes
Both
makes
of them
me
were.
that
He
makes
sold
me
nothing.
You know, people say that his fights are fake and this and that.
No.
I mean, you
They're
could
not.
definitely
They're not fake. They're kind of fake. The stipulation's definitely there. It's for money. But yeah, no, I don't think Jake Paul's as good.
But
as,
I mean,
you know.
if Jake's fights were a work, you could definitely tell those were not his usual punches that he usually
Yeah,
throws.
'cause
against
he-
Usos.
he has
I
to
think
hold
he was
them.
trying to be careful and
Yeah, he
protect
has
them.
to fucking pull his punches in WWE because you can't fucking go full force like you can in boxing.
I feel like that's
It didn't look
why.
good.
No.
Notice how
Just
notice
like Logan
how
Paul's super kick.
Hit that performance center.
notice how it wasn't until Solo came out that referees and security or whatever came out, and like a lot of the road agents.
They're trying to build Solo to be a fucking like.
I
feel
monster,
like-
and
no,
I
I
love
feel-
it.
I like
He's
that.
the
I
next
feel-
Umaga.
I feel like they were trying to prevent Jake and Solo from like really going fucking. Because notice how nobody put their hands on Jake. I feel like because Jake hasn't really been around this space too long, somebody
Yes.
fucking hits him with a little bit too much pressure. You know, he'll fucking really be going to blows with somebody. And I mean, you don't want to go to blows with Solo Sikoa, bro. That dude's a little bit too big.
Like I said, man, I think they're going to be building Solo Sikoa to be almost as monstrous as Umaga, just in a different way. He's the new Umaga.
I love it.
I
love
love Solo Sikoa. I love Solo Sikoa. 100%.
Great addition to the bloodline.
Absolutely.
Acknowledge him.
I do. I
It's
think he's phenomenal.
It's kind of weird that, you know, when the bloodline comes out or whatever, you see Roman and the two Usos. They don't have a graphic for Solo Sikoa yet.
Well, he just joined the bloodline recently, man, and he's still like,
It's September. It's November.
I mean,
He
you're
is
right. You got a point there, Dan.
Danny's got a point.
All right, man. Receipts. I see you. I see you.
I'm just saying, bro.
On fire, bro. Okay, I see you.
I gotta be
But
on fire, man.
But that's the thing
You have
about
to.
Logan Paul. Like, if he really gave this like a full run at this,
Yep.
seriously, like he could definitely be a future WWE champion.
I agree.
I just don't want a part timer to have the championship.
I'm sick of part-time world champions, man. Especially since fucking Roman has both and he's beyond part-time. It's annoying as fuck, and I can understand why USA Network is getting a little pissed off with this. I can understand.
I feel like we're getting
years is
very
long enough.
close. I feel like we're getting very close to the end.
It will be
WrestleMania.
after Mania, I think.
It
and then
it
they'll
will
do
be
a draft.
Mania. I think. I think it's gonna be Mania. So I think
Yeah.
that is the only thing telling me it's not.
I
The
still
Rock.
I still
but-
say
That's what I'm
if
saying.
That's
if-
the only thing telling me it, though.
if Roman
not
has
gonna
a
be The Rock.
if Roman has a feud going into WrestleMania, right, and he
Yeah.
does end up losing the titles, you know, after he loses to whoever the fuck it's gonna be, you know, have him, you know, be pissed off or whatever. Paul Heyman is probably fucking through the announce table. The Usos are knocked out on the outside. Solo Sikoa is fucking probably like, you know, face first into the barrier or something. Like you have Roman Reigns all like pissed off and angry he lost or whatever, grabs the mic, cuts a promo. I'm still the tribal chief. I'm still head of the table. There's nobody that can touch me. Can you smell? You hear The Rock come out? They have
That's
a
what
build
I'm
towards
saying. That would
WrestleMania
be the
40.
perfect ending
That's
for
what I'm saying.
Mania.
See, like,
That would
here's
be
the thing.
perfect ending.
I could see Roman losing the titles to whoever he's facing, and then The Rock coming out and proving that he's the actual tribal chief, and then
And then
that's
they have
when
an
he take
entire
him off.
year.
Leads
They
to
take
the
him off
next
TV.
Mania.
They take him off TV, have him resurge at Survivor Series with The Rock fucking doing some shit, like kind of promoting it because he also debuted at Survivor Series. Have Roman resurge at Survivor Series, start the feud there, and then have them build it all the way to Mania.
WrestleMania
Yeah, 'cause-
40.
And
Yeah,
then
'cause-
then Roman can officially retire and do his thing in Hollywood, and then come
That
back
could be
here and there.
because when The Rock and John Cena had that little
That would be a
feud,
beautiful
that was an
swan
entire
song.
that was an
It's a
entire
swan
year.
song.
You could
Well
do the
said.
same thing with
2024.
Roman. That's what I'm saying. That's what I think is
2024.
going to happen, bro.
I think
Yeah,
yeah,
because if you're gonna bring The
that
Rock
makes sense.
back, like you can't just put him in the WWE title picture. You just can't. do
yeah,
that.
no. So I'm saying have Roman lose and have The Rock be big disappointed.
Bro, that match will be
Big
so big.
disappointed.
That match will be so big you won't need a title. That's the thing. That's why you have
Exactly.
Roman
Mhm.
lose at this year's WrestleMania.
It's a blockbuster match.
You know, him still, you know, cutting a promo after the match, whatever. I'm still head of the table. Ain't nobody that can touch me. I'm the tribal chief. This
He doesn't
and
have
that.
no,
And you
dude.
have the fucking
Have him have some fucking humility, bro. Like let him not even say shit, or have him
But
go
I
to
like
say
that.
something,
He
and then The
says
Rock.
that, and then that triggers The Rock to come out. That right
That's
there,
what I'm
I think Danny is friggin' on point right now, hitting bullseye.
I
I'm
don't know,
just
man.
saying, bro. It would hit totally different.
But before we move
Maybe.
on to our main event topic on the We Are Wrestling talk show, always got to mention this on the talk show.
Jay is better than Jimmy.
Jay is better than Jimmy.
Who the fuck that little ooze down there? Dude, you are so fucking wrong for using his mugshot, you piece of shit.
Not me. That's the We Are Wrestling graphic designer. That's not me.
Feeling a little
what you're talking
oozy.
Whoever the fucking designer is not feeling oozy.
Definitely not. Some of the We Are Wrestling maniacs actually get really mad that we say Jay is better than Jimmy.
I don't give a
And to
fuck. It's
them,
true.
I'm not
I
sorry.
actually like
Jay
Jimmy
will
because
always be better
Jay
than
gives
Jimmy.
Sammy a hard time.
Until
I
you
don't
get
like that.
paid to talk about your opinions, your opinion don't mean shit.
So there has been reports going all over the wrestling community. John Cena is set to have a match at WrestleMania 39.
Damn,
But we
bro,
don't
this
want to
is,
just, talk about the reports. We want to do some fantasy booking. and talk about some
That was beautiful,
potential
guys.
opponents that we could see John Cena going against at this WrestleMania coming up.
Fucking Lutely.
But before we get into the opponents, how do you guys feel about this news?
About John being officially set to have a match at Mania? Let's fucking go.
Well,
Let's fucking
So,
go.
I'm
go.
gonna start out because I know a little bit more.
It
of
just sucks
the,
that we won't be able to see him
news
there.
Side. Yeah, I know a little bit more of the news side of things than these two gents.
Gents.
Yeah. Now it's not confirmed in any way. Like we're
Yeah,
just
you know how
reporting.
the industry works.
People have said that John Cena is possibly interested, and if you're gonna do it, might as well have it take place in LA.
Mhm.
John Cena was scheduled when he made that appearance for his anniversary show or whatever on Monday.
Yep.
He was scheduled to be on WWE TV for a little while.
Yep.
That unfortunately was around the time that the whole Vince McMahon money situation
allegations
was happening or
And the
whatever.
investigation and shit.
John Cena didn't really want any kind of publicity revolving that around his career. So
Of
that's
course,
why
being one of the top Hollywood actors, I would understand.
Yeah.
that's
no,
why that's why we
absolutely.
got him to be. That's why he cut the promo and be like, I haven't wrestled my last match, but when am I gonna come back? I'm not sure yet. He was supposed to have a match. It was supposed to be Theory and him at SummerSlam.
Mhm.
Didn't
I do
happen.
remember those reports going
Yep.
around.
Yeah, and we could thank Vince McMahon, but
Yeah.
maybe that's not a total
It's a
bad
blessing.
thing.
It's a blessing in
Because
disguise,
now-
man.
We possibly get him being booked and creatively driven by Triple H
Yeah.
to have a
boy.
match
See what
at
Triple H does.
WrestleMania, bro.
With a John Cena toy, I cannot
Yep.
wait to see what Triple H.
Don, I
does.
want to get your thoughts first because you are a diehard Cena mark, man.
You got that right.
above.
If he woke
me
up
and
as John
Ben.
Cena, he would suck his own dick. He
Like,
would suck his own
this
dick.
dude was
Till he can't see
9-10 years old on Halloween dressed as John Cena, the spinner belt, everything. I want to get your thought before me and Ben give our thoughts on who we would like to see. I want to get your thoughts on this
Let's
entire
go.
situation.
All right, so with the news with John Cena, I am always excited to see John Cena come back because he's always an asset in WWE. What he brings to the table is something that no other babyface out there can bring.
Needle
John Cena
mover.
is just one of those guys that goes into an arena and no matter
Immediately
what,
draws a crowd.
he draws that crowd. He can, get you to buy tickets, to the shows, to the pay-per-views. And with John Cena coming back for WrestleMania 39, I could not think of a better place, especially letting it be in Hollywood. And especially right now with all the talent that we got in WWE, all the fantasy bookings that we can definitely see with this, honestly, I am all for it, and I am very excited to see Cena come back. Long overdue. But I do think before he retires, and I will keep saying this when we talk about John Cena, to make it clear to all the We Are Wrestling Maniacs, and MJF, who says I'm the least intelligent out of the three. Here's what I got to say about John Cena. If
Thanks,
he
Max.
is going to retire, I think the best way for John Cena to do it is not just one final match and that's it. Cena should do one final year in WWE.
Like full-time?
So going from Mania to the next Mania, he should have one full-time run left before he retires. Because John Cena has always been known for, being the workhorse and being,
He
the
still
face
is.
of WWE.
Just 'cause he's not
And I
in
think if he
WWE don't
just
mean he's
quits
not breaking his
Hollywood
back.
for 1 year.
I wouldn't say
he quits
quit. I would
Hollywood.
say,
Best way to do it.
hiatus. Jericho does it all the time with his tours.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely a lot easier to tour, especially, they're like in one location majority of the time.
Telling
but
you, that's the best way for John Cena to retire. That's like the perfect swan song.
By the way, I just because I gotta reiterate this, just because I don't want people to
Kobe
misconstrue what
Bryant
we're
farewell
saying.
tour.
Yeah. This is not. We're not saying that John Cena is having one final run. We're not saying he's going to be at WrestleMania.
Fantasy
We are
booking.
not saying anything. I don't want anybody to take what we're saying 100% truth because
Absolutely.
people can always misconstrue what you're trying to say on the internet, and I don't
Mhm.
want us involved with that. So, Donnie, continue.
It don't matter. It's gonna happen regardless, Danny.
Absolutely.
So with John Cena, I'm not saying he's going to retire anytime soon, but I think he is going to wrestle at WrestleMania 39. It's not 100% confirmed yet until we obviously see him come back on WWE TV. Nothing is ever confirmed until it happens on WWE TV.
Yeah.
But now, I think we should name 2 superstars that we could see John Cena facing at WrestleMania 39. And I say, we all go, one at a time. Like, I'll pick one. Danny, you pick one. Ben, you pick one.
Before we get into that, I talked about my thoughts. You talked about your thoughts. I think we should hear Ben's thoughts on this entire situation leading up to.
But I don't know, man. That fucking reaction video, I'm still getting fucking trash canned for that shit. So I don't know if they give a fuck about what I have to say. But luckily, I don't give a fuck. So I think that John, to end his career, should have that 1-year final run, like where he does put Hollywood on the shelf for at least a year, clears his schedule. Obviously make it so he finishes all of his commitments first, then focuses on that. I could see that happening in 2025. I can see that happening in 2026. It wouldn't be happening anytime relatively soon, but I could see it in the foreseeable future. I could see it. I think he has a lot of gas left in the tank. I think that, again, the workhorse mentality, just because he's not in WWE doesn't mean he's not still breaking his back somewhere else. And with his acting accolades now and what he's done so far, there's always a fresh John Cena. So there's so many different ways you could take this. Like, for example, I loved the Firefly Funhouse match. It was different, and we got to see old school shit again, and it was really it was exciting, and I would love to see all of anything like that again. It doesn't have to be a Firefly Funhouse match, but I'm interested in seeing different kinds of layers of John going forward with this new creative control being pushed by Triple H. So I'm excited, and I'm here for it no matter what it is. I'm a huge Cena fan as well, just like the rest of the universe.
Yeah, you're a huge Ruthless Aggression era fan, and that's really when, John Cena started to cement himself.
He became the face of WWE at that time. He was running the company on his fucking shoulder alone, and Lord knows the dude could obviously handle it.
Doctor of Thugonomics.
I love how natural Batista and John Cena grown in the Ruthless Aggression era. It was
was Roman
natural.
Reigns, and Batista was the Roman Reigns back then. Cena was the Cena.
And they both grown at the same time, which was incredible to see.
Well, they both trained at OVW together. So did Brock Lesnar. So did Shelton Benjamin.
Bro, they were the face of SmackDown versus Raw 2006. That time era from 05 to 07 was the Cena and Batista era, period. Yes. Like, that was a golden age of its own. Like,
bro, I still remember.
Oh, goosebumps.
I still remember when John Cena first came out on Monday Night Raw in 2005 when he first got drafted. It was on Jericho's talk show there. He came out in like an orange jersey. They came out with an orange jersey and was going all crazy. He had the spinner belt and everything.
Over his white T-shirt, definitely 2005 of him.
No, he wasn't wearing a white T-shirt. He was wearing orange. He was wearing like an orange basketball jersey.
Yeah, but over a white T-shirt. Like he was wearing it underneath.
But I remember that like it was yesterday, bro. That was nuts.
He was wearing a visor too, right? Not even like a full hat. It was like a visor, right? I remember.
I think so, if I remember correctly.
Dude, he still had the Chain Gang Soldier fucking necklace too, and it was a spinner.
That was the start of Jericho and his
defining moment.
That was start of his and Jericho's feud, because remember they had like what do you call it? They had like a battle of the bands. Remember that?
I do remember that. Oh, he's got the figure. He's got it. He has it.
Yeah.
We can actually squash this right now. So does he have a visor or a regular hat?
Regular hat. All
right, it's a black hat with the Chain Gang Soldier symbol, right? Yep.
Bro, that's it, man.
13. Yep.
Finding moments.
I'm telling you.
And
that's honestly my favorite Mattel figure of all time too.
And Jericho and Cena shortly thereafter had a battle of the bands and everything. Like, there's just so many iconic moments. I don't know why we didn't mention any when we did the John Cena episode.
Hey, we have a whole episode about John Cena that you guys can definitely go check out. One of our older episodes of the We Are Wrestling Talk Show.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
That was
By the
another good
way,
pull.
I can't help but to mention this, and I don't want to steer too far off topic because it is getting late. But can
Yeah,
you
I got you.
guys believe that we've literally only almost been doing this an entire year? We started in February of this year, bro, and it's almost December.
Yeah,
Fucking
man.
nuts, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
I remember when
nuts.
we were in the four. I remember when we were in like the 4 to 700s, and we're at almost 3K, and that's great. And we've had a lot of good publicity. We've had a lot of bad publicity. We've had a lot of people on, like we've been on a lot of people's radar, and it's really exciting. So
Honestly,
We gotta do
got
a
some of the best- We
massive-
got the best. We are wrestling maniacs.
We got to do
episode
a
100 is
Love
gonna
our
be nuts.
fan base so
we got to
much.
do a massive anniversary episode when we're
That-
for
I feel like we should do a cinematic episode for episode 100. I feel like we should do something big and in person. Like,
Well, if we
should
want
do
to get to
something
100,
big.
we got to stay consistent.
Absolutely.
But
We're
anyway,
very
so
consistent with uploads, but with the regular talk show, we need to. Just,
Yeah.
so with John Cena possibly being at WrestleMania 39, which direction you guys gonna go?
For
All right, so we're gonna
opponents,
get into our matches.
I say we get into our matches. Ben, did
Don,
you have
take it
anything
away.
else you want to add to?
he's the GOAT. That's it.
All
So
right,
Don,
All right,
start
man.
it off, bro.
I will definitely start this off. So, the first wrestler that I got to go with to face John Cena at WrestleMania this year, I'm going to go with LA Knight as my first pick.
Fucking dude looks like
Okay.
Ross Marquand from the fucking Walking Dead that plays fucking Aaron. Jesus Christ.
The
And
dude
the
can
reason
fucking
why
go. Though.
I am going with LA Knight, and maybe it's because I'm biased, because I've been a big fan
I can
of
see it.
LA Knight's work since he actually was
Was
a part
Eli
of
Drake.
Impact Wrestling as Eli Drake. And I've done a lot of research on him because, of course, the first promo I remember on Impact, him, he was a part of this group with Drew McIntyre, which was going by Drew Galloway at the time.
Yep.
And he really captivated me. I was like, wow. He
Yeah.
really has the potential of being the
takes-
next top superstar.
Bro,
in this
all it
industry.
takes is a good writer and a good person to push you.
So
That's
I
all it
did
is.
some research. Like I remember him as Sean Richter. He had Paul Bearer, who was
my
doing
God.
the Percy Pringle thing with him
Yep.
at the time,
Percy Pringle.
which was pretty cool to see. Because that was like Paul Bearer's last work before he passed away. He worked with Eli Drake.
Yeah.
But now with
Yeah.
LA Knight, I really want to see him and John Cena go at it because I think the man can work John Cena's type of match. He definitely is one of the best guys on the microphone who, I think him and John Cena, if LA Knight is the heel, Cena is the face, they are going to, I think, put on a great storyline, and not only a great storyline, but a great match.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Dummy
yeah.
and dummy.
When it comes to LA Knight, now you know a lot more of his career than I do. I didn't see him until NXT, but I remember just for whatever reason the storyline between him and Cameron Grimes with
That was
Million Dollar
good.
Man, like that just sticks out of my mind. Like just seeing Cameron Grimes and Ted DiBiase being at this house or whatever, and they were gonna auction it, and Cameron Grimes played this rich guy or whatever. I just remember that storyline very
I miss Cameron
vividly.
Grimes' old character.
Yeah,
That was
he
awesome.
within the next 2 months he should be on the main roster. I'm looking forward to that.
Thank God.
But I could definitely see LA Knight being a worthy opponent. I mean, they're both equal size. They can both talk, they can both scrap in the ring or whatever. So I don't see anything wrong with, I think they'd
I
be
don't
able
either.
to put on one hell of a clinic.
I agree with both of you.
Alrighty, so Ben, who do you got?
So, as you guys know, the mat is sacred. I think for WrestleMania 39, a great matchup would be against the in-ring general, Gunther. 100%. And the reason why I'm choosing Gunther 100 is because no matter how it turns out, it's a win-win situation on both sides. If John Cena prevails, he gets his IC title, he officially becomes a Grand Slam champion, and I could see a good 6-month reign for Cena before he's taken off TV. I could see a good, healthy 6-month reign. between anybody, but have it end back with Gunther retaining. And it could be, again, a win-win. Now, if Gunther were to win at fucking WrestleMania, John Cena just made him a huge fucking star. At that point, that solidifies him in the main title picture in the foreseeable future at that point. Builds him up as the monster that he already is because he's still technically undefeated on the main roster. And it will put a lot of great accolades under his belt and project him to where we know where he's going to go.
He's gonna be a
He's a
future
big
WWE
dude.
champion.
He's a big dude. He's a technical fucking wrestler. The dude's got size. He's got fucking speed. The dude is charismatic, and he doesn't even need to say much. He has an amazing mouthpiece in fucking Ludwig
Period.
Kaiser. He's got everything, dude. The dude is fucking stacked. I would love to see either outcome happen, just because it would be monumental. And John Cena, dude, fuck. Like, that dude can make anybody look like $1 million fucking dollars. And if anybody could use that and really help catapult their career, it's Gunther. I think that
John
would be an
Cena
amazing
definitely
build.
Shouldn't beat him though, because I feel
I
like that's
don't
going
think
to be a
so.
situation.
But if
similar
anybody
to
should,
WrestleMania
it's
with
Cena.
Rusev. I
That's what I'm
don't want to
saying.
see Gunther turn into Rusev.
I don't
Because
either.
Rusev had all this momentum as United States champion, and then when he went to Mania against John Cena and then Cena beat him, all that momentum pretty much went
And that's
right
why I
down the
said,
drain.
give Cena a good 6-month reign, but have it end full circle with Gunther retaining and beating Cena finally at that next
Okay, that's
at
fair.
that next fucking big, 6. Have him win it back at Survivor Series for all I fucking care. SummerSlam for all I fucking care.
But honestly,
Yeah.
you know who I want to take the IC title off of Gunther, and he should wrestle at Mania?
What's up?
Drew McIntyre. I think
could
they
see
can
that.
put on a really good storyline.
I could
for
see
They
Mania.
that.
do.
100.
They do want to make the
Match of the
IC
night, right?
title
More prestigious. And Drew would
not
be
just
good.
more prestigious, but technically it wasn't an American championship when it
Yeah.
first. I mean the
Yeah.
first
It took over the
Intercontinental
European
champion.
title.
Yeah, the first Intercontinental champion was fucking Pat Patterson. He was what, French Canadian or something.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
they want to
so
go in that
I would
direction.
love to
I'm-
see Drew
I'm with it,
McIntyre
you
and
know.
Gunther.
I'll
I think
bite.
that's going to be the man to go against.
I wouldn't have.
But I would go with Cena to beat him, though, for his Grand Slam, if that's where they went.
Yeah. The thing about that is
And Gunther wouldn't
we
lose any
don't
credibility.
know. We don't know if Cena at this point in his life wants to commit 6 months to WWE.
Yeah, he would.
To hold on to the
Yeah, he would.
Intercontinental champ.
Yeah, he would.
Bro, he
For
is
his Grand Slam, depending,
He's got
he
some
would.
very big projects in Hollywood. I don't know.
Not
Peacemaker.
right now.
That's it. Right now,
Yeah.
Peacemaker. That's it. And they film in Atlanta. That's it. Just
I mean,
Peacemaker. That's all he's got. And I think they're already pretty well into production, I think.
I mean, if he did, win the IC title, whatever, it would. I feel like it would make the title a little bit less prestigious because he wouldn't be there. He would
It would be,
be
a
there
part-time
like
champion.
it wouldn't. It would be a part-time thing.
Like I said, it just depends on where they go
It
and
would
how
be a
they do
great
it. I would be
match.
there.
And
It'd
this
be
is
a hell of
fantasy
a
booking,
match.
So I do got to give
Oh.
Ben credit for
And
that.
God.
I mean,
would
could
love
you
it.
imagine
We'd love to see it.
Could you imagine how far it would propel Gunther if he fucking beat John Cena?
That would
I
really
just stated that.
elevate it.
Yeah, 100%, dude. Like, could you imagine the end of that match? And if fucking Cena raised Gunther's hand, dude, that's it right there. You just made a star. You just made a fucking star.
Would I mind John Cena beating Gunther at some point? No, but the first match, I would love for John Cena to put over Gunther just because
Absolutely.
of how they're building him. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Excuse me.
Because right now they got Rey Mysterio putting him over, which I think is great.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and Mysterio, yeah, dude resurged. Like, I'm digging his outfit now. Like, he has his whole closed mask again back in the Ruthless Aggression era. He has a little bit of a change in design
more
on his
mohawk?
on his shit. No more mohawk. He has his
Thank
old
fucking
school
God.
fucking mask again. He was wearing a
Let's
full,
go.
like, his back of his head is covered again too.
Finally.
Thank God.
Yeah, dude, he has his old school
Hallelujah.
shit again. I'm stoked about it.
No more Mohawk. All right, Danny, who do you got?
This is pretty much an obvious choice. And I sort of explained a little bit
Yep.
without going into too much detail, whatever, before we started recording
Yup.
tonight.
Yup.
And I gotta go with Edge. Edge and John
Yeah.
Cena had a hell of a feud. Back in 2006. I would like to revisit that a little bit, and especially
I want that to
since
be Edge's final feud.
maybe
Yes.
I
because
want that to be his final feud.
Edge said next summer he wants to hang it up. He
Have
wants
it
his
be
last match to
SummerSlam.
be in Toronto. You know
SummerSlam.
what I mean? So I would really enjoy to revisit what Edge and Cena, did back in 2006. That was a special time, man, in the Ruthless Aggression era. We had Edge, showing up at Cena's dad's house, smacking the shit out of
I
him.
would
You
want
know,
I would want them both to retire. Both of them at the same time, if that were the case. I would want them to both
You
hang
know
it
what
up.
would really sell?
that kind
the
of reminds me
match?
of like Alita and Trish Stratus thing, because didn't they have that match and then they both retired the same night or something, or Alita retired shortly thereafter? So it was something like that. Was that like
Yeah.
Unforgiven 2005 or 2006?
Yeah, I do remember that.
2006, I
Yep,
believe.
I do believe that. I think
So-
that's because that's
But
when
no,
Star
like,
Power of the Divas
honestly,
went
thinking
down.
about it now, if they really want to sell this match, if they were gonna do this at WrestleMania, they
Yep.
should do that. Loser retires. Because think
I
about
would
it, that can go either way. Like fans, because John Cena obviously is part time. He does stuff in Hollywood, and
But the
Edge,
thing
of
is-
course, is towards the end of his wrestling career.
But the thing is, don't forget, Edge said he wants to retire in his home country, his hometown, Toronto, Canada.
Yep.
So WrestleMania would have to take place, and I mean they did the Toronto Sky Dome, but I don't know if it's there anymore. I don't know if they have like another massive like building or whatever that they could house WrestleMania there at some point. I mean that could be definitely a possibility, but
Yeah, I don't know. I really think Edge and John Cena, that would be a very fun match though for Mania and like for like the
Yeah.
Ruthless Aggression fans.
I could
definitely
just
see that.
imagine. I could just imagine them having a good 20, 25-minute match, beating the hell out of each other. Even Edge gets the victory or whatever, and then just
Ooh,
having them stand in the middle of the ring and just embrace each other and give each other a hug and
Oh,
have
dude,
John
Edge
That would
would
be a
cry.
WrestleMania moment.
If
I mean,
anybody
bro,
needs to retire Edge, at least it is John Cena. That is his greatest rival in his entire career. There's no fucking way in hell that you're gonna have Edge retired by some fucking random. There's nobody like John
I don't
Cena.
want it to be a Baron Corbin and Kurt Angle situation.
It won't. They will not do him dirty like that.
That
And I
won't
think if Edge
Triple H
requests
won't
John
allow
Cena,
that.
it will happen.
Triple H, I think
100%.
Triple H is gonna let Edge pick who he wants to retire.
Here's the
him.
thing. All right, guys. Fantasy booking.
Fantasy booking. All right.
WrestleMania 40 or WrestleMania 39. John Cena versus Edge. Triple H special referee. I would
Doesn't get more
I would here to
fantasy
say
than
it.
that.
I would be here to see it. Special
Yeah,
guest
but,
ref, and it doesn't compromise his health.
Like I was just saying to Donnie, I don't know if you heard, but when Edge retires, he wants it to be in his hometown. That's my only thing. WrestleMania this year is happening
so
in LA. Next
again,
year is happening in Philly.
again, SummerSlam. Because isn't that where he debuted? SummerSlam?
Edge, I don't think so. He did
something
regular
like that?
vignettes and stuff. and
Okay,
Yeah.
well, regardless,
debut
in
on
Toronto,
Raw or
then do it.
something.
have him retire Edge in Toronto. And I
Yeah,
think
that's
they're
what I
gonna have. I think they're gonna have Edge win it. I don't think they'll ever have him lose his last match.
Bro, I could see
But then
that.
I don't know about that, Ben, because there is a saying with old school wrestlers
Mhm.
in wrestling. If you, pretty much lace up, like you tie the boots up and you put them away, you put somebody else over in the process of doing it. We saw it with Batista. We saw it.
True.
Well, we did in 2008 with Ric
understand that.
Flair until he decided to, do his horrible final match.
Oh my fucking
But
god!
a
And he
lot
blacked
of
out like 6
a
times.
lot of guys, that's how they usually do it. The old
Fucking
school,
ridiculous.
they pretty much put the other person over.
Yeah.
I could just see like with all the emotions running high in the arena and Edge and John
yeah,
Cena
dude.
just
The whole-
staring at each other. Edge has
That's main
tears
event
and
worthy.
John Cena and Edge just hug each other, and John Cena raises Edge's hand or whatever, and then you hear fucking
Thank
Edge's
you,
music. Oh
Edge.
my
Yep.
god, bro!
Oh yeah, it'd be fucking the whole. I'm sorry, but
I
that
would
whole fucking,
legitimately cry, bro.
That whole arena would be nothing but a fucking ocean of just tears.
That's if we were to know for a
Very
fact
true.
if that would happen, I would literally travel to where that show is just to be there for that moment. Like
I
I would
think-
be that serious.
I think that pin would be the first pin that would actually break kayfabe. I think that is the first pin. I think that both individuals, as they're
you can't say kayfabe because kayfabe's already been broken a long.
no, I'm
time
just
ago.
saying. I think that would actually break the fourth wall, and it would be a genuine moment in the middle of the ring. I think as Edge is getting pinned, you are gonna see this man cry. Like he is not gonna pretend that he's knocked the fuck out. This dude is going to cry as he's getting pinned.
It happened
Mark
with Shawn
my
Michaels
fucking
and Ric
words.
Flair. After
Yeah,
that
Shawn-
happened.
Shawn Michaels
grabbed his head
heard
and
the
hugged him.
3 count and
Yep,
then fucking hopped right on.
Yep.
That was a sad moment.
And then of course Ric Flair had to go and fuck it up.
I could see
Yeah.
a moment like that happening between Edge and John Cena. It doesn't get any better than them two. You know
Oh,
what
absolutely,
I mean?
absolutely.
So now another guy that I do have to mention that I would love to see a program with for John Cena at Mania, who I also think can work Cena's style and especially storytelling, could, really elevate this guy. And I think that this can really take him to the main event picture. Karrion Kross.
I'm with it.
I would love to see a whole program with
I'm with
Karrion
it.
Kross and John Cena. For Mania.
I could see it.
The only thing is though, if I'm seeing this match, I want to see the fucking Universal Championship around Karrion's waist first. Because at that point, he's worthy to be a champion if he beats John Cena and puts the title on the line. I think that at that point
Well,
would
we're not-
show
but
that
here's
he
the
is a
problem,
worthy
though.
champion.
I think we're not going to be having the title split up until after Roman Reigns loses at this Mania.
Oh no, I'm talking about future.
What about
I'm not talking
having-
this Mania? I'm talking about future
mean,
Okay,
Mania.
I see what you're
This
saying.
is
So the
this
timing's
is
not right.
definitely this is definitely
This is in the
fantasy
future.
booking.
This is in the
But
future.
what about we have, you know how Scarlett always gets involved, right?
Yeah.
What if we have John Cena and Karrion Kross and a Scarlett on a pole match to
Oh
where
my
she's
fucking
like
God.
she's in like a shark cage.
My fucking God. Yeah.
I could see something happening because Triple H, has done the stipulation match where like a manager goes up like in the shark cage, similar to like the Attitude Era. I could see something like that happening, like Scarlett going up like in the cage while
That way she doesn't
Cena
get
and Kross
involved.
wrestle so
Yeah.
that she can't get involved. I could see
Because
that.
like she's maybe like as this match gets built up or whatever throughout the weeks, maybe John Cena, shows up a couple times, a couple times or whatever, like throughout the run between, maybe after the Royal Rumble to WrestleMania. And every time he comes out to cut a promo against Karrion Kross or whatever, Scarlett keeps coming out and interrupting him.
I know exactly how the storyline should begin.
What up?
So, we go into the Royal Rumble of 2023. John Cena is a surprise entrant in the Rumble, gets the crowd excited, and then he throws Karrion Kross out, and Karrion Kross gets his revenge on Cena and costs him a chance at the WWE Championship. And that is where the feud starts.
How about just pull a classic fucking Kurt Angle and Shawn Michaels Royal Rumble 5 where he fucking runs in and gets his ass eliminated? That starts a feud.
You really can't do that, especially if
Yeah, the fuck you can. Kurt Angle did it.
No, I'm not talking about what you
Oh.
said. I'm talking about what Donnie said.
Oh.
Because like if you're trying to set up a match for WrestleMania, how can and John Cena's in the Royal Rumble, whatever, how are you gonna justify Karrion Kross, preventing John Cena from winning the title if you're trying to set up a match at Mania for Karrion Kross against John Cena if John Cena is going to be facing somebody else at WrestleMania?
He
You know
won't
what I
be,
mean?
Because the problem is, Cena doesn't win the Rumble. He gets screwed by Kross.
Guys, I'm so
where
excited
it
that the Royal
begins.
Rumble is literally 2 months away. Sorry. I had
Especially
to-
with Triple H
I
running
had to-
things.
I
That's
literally
gonna
had to make that known. I'm just really excited. Sorry, guys.
That's good. That's going to be a hell of a watch along.
That's going to be
going
a fun one. I feel like we all got
I'm going to
be
cry.
together.
I feel like all of us should be together for the Royal Rumble this year. I feel like we should. Is that a Sunday or Saturday this year?
I
Oh,
think
Saturday.
it's a Saturday. I'm
Fuck
not
yeah.
sure though.
Fuck yeah.
Yes.
If it's a Saturday, fuck yeah. If it's a fucking
And you s-
Sunday, I'm calling
You
out.
still got a request for the WrestleMania weekend off the beginning of April.
Bitch, I'm gonna. The fuck? I'm just gonna request that Sunday off.
But I would love to see Kross
And I'll work
Cena.
that Friday instead.
So any
Um,
other wrestler you could think of for John Cena match for Mania?
Like I said when we were talking about it, I agreed with Dan. It has to be Edge. It has to be. I'm 100% on that bandwagon. It's just there's so much at stake in that match, and it's just such a big subject. It's another Rock and Stone Cold thing. It's
Throwing
a
this,
big thing,
throwing
but it's more doable.
Throwing this out to the universe. If it's not John Cena, right? That like we're going back to the whole. Yeah, nah, we're going back to that real quick, because another thing that came to mind or whatever as we were talking. If it's not John Cena, the next best person, Randy Orton.
Oh, for Edge, absolutely. But we don't know when Randy Orton's gonna come back. Hopefully soon.
I think he comes back at the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Hey, he's been keeping on.
I heard he's supposed to be coming back at the Royal Rumble, and he's gonna be having a feud with Riddle.
That's what Vince wanted. That's what Vince wanted, but that all got scrapped. I saw the report. I saw the report. It got scrapped. It got scrapped. I know what you're talking about, though. I do know what you're talking about.
He's a snake.
No, Vince, before Vince got fired, he was going to have Randy turn on Riddle. However, those plans got completely scrapped right when he got fired. So we don't know what's going to happen with Randy's return now. It might be an angle with Cody.
I don't know, but I do see Randy turning and having a match with Riddle. At
because some point,
him watching, seeing what Riddle's been doing on TV since he's been gone,
he's been fucking killing it.
Pretty much calling him an embarrassment and this and that. Well, yeah, he's been killing it to us, but I mean, you could utilize that for the storyline between them.
Here's what could happen. I got some fantasy booking. So, Riddle versus Orton at Mania happens. Randy's full heel at this point. Randy wins.
Okay.
Then the person that is rumored to be Roman Reigns for the WWE Championship is Cody Rhodes.
Yep.
So why don't we get our first feud for Cody for the championship to be Randy Orton?
Mm-hmm.
They got history. They could tell a really good story. I think that would be a good one for SummerSlam.
Both generational talents.
Yep.
And Orton, can go on this, really crazy heel run. And he could be a worthy opponent for Cody for the title.
I feel like just because he has a look, Randy Orton's a better heel than he is a babyface. I just don't buy him as a babyface.
We're getting a little off topic, gents.
Yes, we are. So now, my last question before we close off this week's episode of the We Are Wrestling Talk Show. One name in particular that has been rumored to go against John Cena for quite a while. Could you see WrestleMania 39 being John Cena versus Austin Theory?
I see it more as I could see it, but I see that more as a SummerSlam match now rather than a WrestleMania match.
Well, that's because
especially with Vince being gone.
That's because it was supposed to happen at SummerSlam. But I have heard reports that that's like the running idea, or whatever. And the reason why they took the briefcase off of Theory is because that was a Vince McMahon idea.
Yeah.
And Triple H didn't want the briefcase to hinder his creative ideas for what he wants Theory to go through. Because Theory, he won the briefcase, but he has to change. He has to, pretty much exchange it for a title match within a year.
They had
that wasn't going to happen. That wasn't going to happen.
He could have cashed in friggin' towards, NXT TakeOver, towards Mania on Braun Breaker.
What, and downgrade the guy and go on a show that fucking 15 people watch?
He can elevate more friggin' talent over there. He could turn himself into a main event guy over there.
NXT is another Impact Wrestling to me. So, I don't see that happening, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But what's Theory doing now?
Who cares? Matters? I'm over Theory at this point.
Exactly, which is why he needs to go back to NXT. Because literally, I'm not even gonna get into this.
It doesn't even have to be NXT. Just take him off TV.
On Austin Theory's Money in the Bank bullshit. I will be talking about it this Sunday on Hot Takes.
Do it.
I feel like Theory.
I got a lot to fucking say.
I feel like Theory. He needs to get taken off of TV for a little while, and he needs to have a gimmick change. I'm sick of him taking his cell phone and snapping selfies. If this dude wants to be taken serious, he needs to act serious. You know what I mean? So that's what I think should happen.
And the best place to revive your career?
Performance Center.
Oh my fucking god, bro.
Performance Center.
Yep. And then NXT. A lot
Bro,
of
if
people
we're-
did
Okay,
it.
we get it. You like NXT.
If
Ma-
working on
Mandy
the road,
Rhodes. Mandy Rose is the perfect example. She went from like not being used properly to, you know, actually like now being one of the top women.
That's awesome. It worked for Mandy Rhodes,
there's also nobody worth a damn on NXT right now.
except for Nikita Lyons. She needs to get moved up. Hey,
Carmelo Hayes and Braun Breaker.
You just like her for the
That's
ass,
another topic
bro.
for another day.
no, it's not
You're an ass
just it.
boy.
I am, but that has nothing to do with it.
All right, well, we are Wrestling Maniacs. Let us know in the comment section below what your guys' thoughts are on, you know, all the topics that we talked about. We'd love to hear your opinion. If you enjoyed this week's episode of the We Are Wrestling Talk Show, we'll be airing now every Saturday here on the channel. Make sure to smash that like button now. If you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac yet already, you're not a part of the thousands of subscribers. The best way to support us by hitting that subscribe button now, turning on the post notifications. The links are down in the description below. You can go follow all 3 of our other social medias and other YouTube pages. All that down below. And of course, to all the We Are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide, we are taking over. Peace.